Welcome to MsMojo Glow, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 craziest moments from the Tyra Banks Show. Number 10. Tyra teaches her audience how to burp. Though Tyra is a refined beauty on the runway, she isn't always that way off the catwalk. In one notable episode of the Tyra Banks Show, the titular host had a soda-fueled burp-off with Kelly Rowland, former member of Destiny's Child. It was an odd, seemingly out-of-place moment in which the two showed off their belching talents. Number 9. Tyra makes her audience strip. No doubt, Tyra Banks is used to being in her underwear publicly. She's done countless shows and shoots, including the famous Victoria's Secret fashion show. However, in one episode of the Tyra Banks Show, she walked on stage in her underwear and claimed she wasn't used to being quite so revealing. At least not in this context. So, she asked the audience to show some skin with her. The audience members excitedly followed suit, as Tyra cheered them on. Number 8. Tyra interviews 5 women. The Tyra Banks Show was so riddled with bizarre, unserious moments that when Banks took on a more serious topic, it could seem awkward and forced. To kick off an interview with her guests in this episode, Tyra declared dramatically that the 5 women on stage had 10 vaginas. This was followed by some audible audience unease, as well as one person clapping a couple of times. She asked the clapping gentleman to stand and questioned his applause, making for an even more awkward introduction.
So I actually went home and did a self-examination.
Yes.
And that's when I found the other opening.
Number 7. Tyra tells a boy what sex is like. Tyra had a young guest ask her what sex feels like, as he was too embarrassed to ask his mother. She proceeded to describe it as feeling incredibly painful and resulting in blindness, but in much, much more colorful language. After a presumably uneasy commercial break, she told the boy that she was joking and that's not what sex feels like. Number 6. Tyra feels up Katharine McPhee. Throughout her talk show, Tyra was inappropriate in more than one interview. While talking to American Idol alum Katharine McPhee, the topic of the latter's breasts came up. McPhee stated that many people think her breasts are fake. This prompted Tyra to swoop in and cop a feel, in order to assess whether McPhee was telling the truth. She did ask first, thankfully, and McPhee granted her permission, although she was very much put on the spot. It made for another classically inappropriate moment on the Tyra Show.
We're back with American Idol favorite Katharine McPhee, and I squeezed her boobs, everybody. They are real.
Number 5. Tyra creeps on Robert Pattinson and Taylor Lautner. The interview with the Twilight Boys began in a shroud of awkwardness as Tyra demonstrated her terrible English accent, followed by asking Pattinson to bite her. All this happened before a question was even asked, as the audience screamed like 1960s Beatles fans. Tyra then proceeded to drape Team Robert and Team Taylor G-strings on their shoulders, claiming that fans were wearing said lingerie. The interview was really not an interview and more of a fangirl fawning nightmare. Honestly, we can't help but feel sorry for the two young actors, struggling to maintain their dignity throughout the spectacle.
Are you absolutely sure about this?
Really serious. Yes.
Number 4. Tyra explains the birds and the bees to Bow Wow. If you didn't get enough of a creep fest in those last 2 entries, here's more! When Tyra had Bow Wow on her show, things got weird. In one notable episode, Tyra had Bow Wow sit on her lap as she explained the birds and the bees to him. For some reason, she did so to a background beat and used a cringeworthy flower metaphor involving a stem and some petals. It's all very uncomfortable, as the audience seems as confused as we are as to why it's all happening, especially after Tyra comments on Bow Wow's muscular, sexified body. Number 3. Tyra pretends to have rabies. This bizarre moment on the Tyra Show came in the form of one of her strange, randomly placed acting moments. During her intro, she told the audience that she'd been bitten by a rabid dog during her morning jog and had gone for a rabies shot. Apparently it didn't work because she then began to foam at the mouth on stage and bark at the audience and cameras. It's all just surreal. The audience laughed uncomfortably as she flailed around on her hands and knees. If any of Tyra's moments can be said to be completely out of place, it's perhaps this one. Number 2. Tyra falls out of her chair. All of these daytime talk shows have those episodes when an animal expert brings out an assortment of critters. In a previous episode, Tyra revealed her crippling fear of dolphins. However, a porcupine is what really pushes her over the edge. Literally. When the animal expert brings out a porcupine, Tyra immediately starts shouting, "Oh my god," and moves so far up the couch that it flips over, sending her tumbling to the floor behind it. The porcupine, meanwhile, just sits on the table, non-threateningly eating its greens, ignoring everything around it. Number 1. The Great Vaseline Giveaway. After Oprah's infamous car giveaway, any build-up to audience gifts was very exciting. Other shows attempted to recreate the magic, and Tyra was no exception. However, the build-up ended up being incredibly anticlimactic. When Tyra told her audience that she was about to share her top-secret beauty product, hopes were no doubt high.
I'm about to reveal my biggest beauty secret ever!
We can only assume the audience was expecting some outrageously expensive imported face cream or something in that category. After much ado, she revealed that it was instead, drumroll please, Vaseline. Just plain old Vaseline.
3,